My name is Anahita Crawford, and I am the Diversity and Inclusion Manager at Daimler Trucks North America. Today, Erik Linvog and his team from the Pensions and Benefits Accounting team join us to discuss team dynamics and diversity and inclusion. So Erik, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I'm Erik Linvog. I'm Manager of Pensions and Benefits. I've been in this role approximately 9 years in this department. I'm a CPA by trade. Worked in public accounting before this. Outside of work, I really enjoy spending time with my family. I enjoy running and exercising.
So what would you say separates a great manager from a mediocre one?
Well, I think that the important thing in great management is a lot of different things, but one of them is getting a diverse workforce so that you've got a lot of different thinkers and backgrounds that can all contribute. It's not just thinking about intentionally getting a diversified workforce. I think if you do that, you get more caught up in the differences between people. Instead, I try to focus on, we've got specific roles within the department, whether it's an investment person, or whether it's a compliance person, or an accounting person. We've got all these different roles, so you have to have those basic skills and background. But then we also want to have project management. You want to have somebody that's good at analysis, someone good at documentation. That might not always be lined up. The project manager might not always be your compliance person. So you have to be flexible in what you do. What changes then is not the basic core of the functions you're trying to tackle, but maybe the continuous improvement you do. You work with the skills that you have, but you're trying to get the little extra pieces that you haven't seen before. And I found when you're trying to do that, if you're open to diversity, you have a diverse workforce.
How do you go about finding out about each employee's skills and what makes them diverse?
You know, HR in this company does a really good job of helping us get the criteria of what we need as far as the basic skills and criteria for the job that we've described. But once you have those candidates coming in, you're looking for that extra piece. Who's that person that has energy? We want that. Who can take me through project management? We really need somebody to be able to take on a project, follow it through, carry out all the scheduling, everything that has to happen, all those pieces, and knowing that that might not come from all the CPAs that we've seen run through our list in the past. So you're like I said, you're looking for all these different skills, and then what you find out is you have a lot of different people. In fact, when you bring up that I have a diverse workforce, I said, really? Like, oh, yeah, I guess I do. I guess there are a number of diverse people, but it wasn't like intentional to go out and grab those people, but nobody's ever excluded from your selection process. And I think that's the really important piece.
Is it pretty easy to manage a diverse workforce?
You get a lot of advantages. So there's some great things that happen when you got people working together with different backgrounds. You get all these different ideas. You have to meet regularly. You have to solicit honest feedback. You have to ask people, tell me what I need to change or what you're feeling uncomfortable with. After a while, people get pretty comfortable. You don't need to ask anymore. They tell you pretty frankly. Then you know you've kind of arrived.
So what's the downside of having such a high diversity within the team?
Well, you're sometimes going to have communication differences. You're not always going to see eye to eye, or it takes a little longer to explain sometimes. I had one member on my team. I always felt like we could communicate super fast, and then I found out we had the exact same personality type. Yet he and I could never have run the whole department. There's no way. So you definitely need these different pieces. So I think there's a downside to having differences, but easily overcome. It's far worth it.
Thank you. Can you share some tips on how to lead with an inclusive mindset?
So one of the things that may not be incredibly apparent is autonomy. I think is really important. When you have a bunch of people that aren't exactly like yourself or like each other, they're not going to fit into the same program to doing everything exactly the same way. Mm-hmm. So you have to give people autonomy to do it the way that they think is going to work within a framework, and you got to discuss, and sometimes you have to adjust. But you sure can't throw somebody under the bus and get really upset when they did it differently than you thought you would have done it when you gave them the autonomy to begin with. Sometimes it's going to go a different direction, but you have to support the person. Then later you talk about, well, maybe that didn't work out quite the way we wanted. How could we put it together different?
Great. Any final thoughts?
It's been worth the journey. I don't know that I would have originally thought how important it is to have lots of diverse, different people. Where you said in the beginning, did you do it intentionally? And I said, no. but maybe now I would a little bit more. Not that I would still say quotas, no quotas, but I would go at it from the standpoint of I really want to have different people in the end, and so how can I be open to that to make sure that in the end I have a diverse workforce?
Great, thank you.